What's going on, craft beer lovers? I have an awesome beer to review today. In fact, so good that I am drinking my first beer of the day way earlier than I should be. And I can only justify it by saying it's past noon and I have some lunch on the way. So really it's kind of unjustifiable, especially because I've got some stuff to do today. But, you know, it's just too good. I'm too excited. And honestly, I want a beer with my lunch. So I wanted to bring you this new one. This is The Call. That's the name of it. It's called The Call. And it's by Stones Brewery, which is a Texas brewery that is currently located in New Braunfels, Texas. So that's easily within driving distance of me. I could ride my motorcycle down there today, easily get there, and if they were open, it wasn't COVID. I mean, my point being, I'm completely biased towards local craft beer that is made close to me, and I have much more of an emotional connection to it, and I always want to see those breweries succeed. So I'm always willing to forgive, you know, some. This is a new brewery. It's 2013, I believe they were founded. So don't get the wrong idea here, but I'm just saying I'm always willing to forgive them, you know, a mediocre beer and say, you know what, but it was brewed near to me, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But the good news is, this beer is far from mediocre. It is very, very good. And this whole brewery, I love Five Stones. I just want to say right away, they are like a secret weapon for me. They make such awesome IPAs. They have great can designs, and the fact that their attitude, so awesome. It's kind of hard to get a feel from it from their website, which is sort of, doesn't have a whole ton of information on their website. But I did some research, found an interview with the founder, and he is a badass, man. I love his approach to business and to brewing. I don't know you gotta go read it. I found this on the San Antonio Current website, sacurrent.com, and this is an interview. The article is called Five Stones Artisan Brewery Reopens in New Braunfels. So if you find that article, you'll find out why I think this guy's awesome. Let me just see if I can find a few quotes real quick before telling you even more about what I love. So, you know, opened it, small brewery, won some silver medal early on, won some awards early on, making some interesting beers. In fact, their big win was the Aloha Piña, which was a pineapple and jalapeno blonde ale. Not really up my alley, but I haven't tasted it anyway, so it must have been good. It's a family business. The founder's daughters work for him. He's also had help from former head brewer Garrett Crowell at Jester King, which is obviously one of the greatest breweries in Texas and probably in the country and even the world. Great brewery, and they're really trying to use local yeast. It looks like they're foraging for. Sorry, I'm scrolling on my laptop. That's what I'm doing. They're foraging for like local ingredients and yeast to use, herbs and stuff. They also had, I remember the first beer I got from them. It was a 4-pack of Shepherd Warrior, and God, that can design was awesome. It had almost had just the industrial silver can, and then this beautiful like line art of a guy's face who looked kind of like the statue of the David. And I think that might have been the reference there. They make a lot of biblical references, and they clearly have a very strong grasp of what they want to be doing. And I talk about how much I love the concepts behind beer when it all works out. And this is a brewery where the whole brewery has a concept, kind of like Jester King does in their way. You know, a lot of beer makers just make a bunch of beers. They just make another beer and then another beer, and there's no real connection bonding them all between to each other. But Five Stones, I get this feel from them every time, like I'm having a Five Stones beer, and all of them have been good, and none of them have been, and I think this would make the founder of it really happy to hear, and I mean it. None of the beers I've ever had from them have been something ordinary that could be replaced by another beer. I've been going for their IPAs. I think this is maybe my 4th IPA by them, and they are, when I read the hops list off, you're gonna be like, what the heck? Like, what are those? And they're just unique, and they're good, and they're recognizably IPAs. I'm an IPA fanatic, so I'm gonna notice if someone pushes the boundary too far and makes something that's different, because that won't be what I was trying to buy. But they have, I'm gonna say right off, they have a distinctive, almost an herbal taste to me, which I usually don't. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's some taste that makes them distinctively from Five Stones that I've noticed in several of their IPAs, and it's just different. It's just so good. So let me move on from the brewery itself. I'll let you go read and learn about why they're so cool, and let's talk about this beer. So this is the Call, and what's awesome about this, other than the incredible Uncle Sam design, and just, I don't know, it just looks great, is this is a Veterans Day homage, let's say. So even down to the brew on the brew date on the bottom, it says, "Thank you for your service," packaged on the 5th of November 2020. It is now December 8th of 2020, so it's less than 35 days old. I love fresh IPAs. You should know this by now. It is an IPA brewed with Idaho 7, HBC 692, Sabro, Mosaic, and HBC 630 hops. Now, I know I like Sabro and Mosaic hops. I don't have a freaking clue. Idaho 7 I've had once or twice. HBC 692 and 630, I have no clue what those are. I'm definitely not an expert on this anyway, so maybe it's something obvious to you if you're listening. But and then it says The Call, and it's got a quote by Guy de Maupassant. Let's say that name right. Famous quote. "You've never lived until you've almost died. For those who have fought for it, life has a flavor the protected shall never know." I am not a veteran. I've never served. My dad and my grandpa were in the Air Force, and deep respect for the military, for people who do. But I have come close to death on multiple occasions, and I just love that quote. I mean, nothing makes you feel more alive than knowing you're lucky to still be alive, right? So I'm not suggesting you go out and get into stupid, dangerous situations. That's not my message. But sometimes we just live by the grace of whatever we believe is watching over us. And so anyway, I saw this and I was like, it's pushing the boundaries of cheesy, isn't it? But somehow it stays. It keeps from going over that edge. And now moving on to the beer itself, it's gonna, regardless of the can and the design and the message, the beer is freaking good. I had my first one of these, this 4-pack last night, and I've been thinking about it. It's like that good to where I'm like, okay, counting off the hours until it's acceptable for me to have another one of them. So, okay, what I'm going to do, as always, is I'm going to crack it open now, I'm going to pour it, and I'm going to pause real fast this video to go grab a picture for my Instagram, @CraftChristianReviews, and so let me do that now. I'm going to pour, grab that picture, come back, and let's do some smell and taste stuff. And opens real nice and fresh. The white bubbles coming just a little over the top of the can. It's got kind of an interesting cloudy color, and so I'll be right back after I grab a couple of pictures. And we're back. So don't forget to go find me on Instagram @CraftChristianReviews. I keep saying I think there's even more activity over there than there is on YouTube for craft beer. So not just for my stuff. There's a lot of great people posting cool stuff. Great community. Go check it out on Instagram. Now about this beer, I can smell the smell of it coming off. The hops, that kind of herbal, orangey smells that usually are not what I'm going for, honestly, in a beer. But it just smells very fresh, very unique, but still very much an IPA. The experience is exciting. These 5 Stones makes you excited to try that beer. I mean, it's not just another IPA. You can tell from the very beginning. You can just tell as soon as you pour it and smell it. Not just another imitator. It's like grassy and herbal and bready and bitter and fresh. The mouthfeel is phenomenal. Perfect level of carbonation, beautiful head. I don't even know the words to describe this, but I'm just going to say, man, I get the urge to try every single 5 Stones IPA I see. And the only problem I'm having is that they release so many new ones so quickly that I swear to God, every time I come back into the store, there's like 2 or 3 new 4-packs of these guys, the tall ones. And they all look amazing, and they're all different. I'm like, what the hell? How am I supposed to keep up with this? I can't drink that much. So thank God for singles, and maybe I should be stopping by my local craft brew instead of the craft brew store instead of the Central Market big store, because I could probably start picking up singles or 2 cans of these guys instead of getting the 4-packs. And I'm not going to lie, these are premium price beers, very, very much so. I do think you're getting your money's worth, absolutely. Anyone who's into fine craft beer, who wants to drink some of the best Texas beer there is, I sound like a total fanboy right now, and I am. I am. I'm a fanboy of Five Stones. I want them to keep doing what they're doing. I love what you're doing, guys. And if anyone else has a chance to get their hands on this stuff, do it without hesitation. It is worth the price tag. And I think you'll agree with me that it is not just another ... You know, not just an imitator. They stand out. They stand out. And like I said, I think that would make the founder happy, because I read that he does not want to just make more beers. He wants to make beers that are, there's a need. There's a need for the beers he makes, that they fill a spot that is not being filled. I think you're doing that, man. So keep it up. Thanks for making this beer. Keep it up. And so as I'm wrapping this up, if you like this kind of content, please subscribe and leave me a like if you like the video, unless you don't like it. And most of all, leave me a comment. Have you tried other stuff by Five Stones? Do you like them as much as I do? Do you have any thoughts? Have you had the call yet? Do you have any other local Texas breweries you want me to try out, or any other specific IPAs you want me to seek out for a review? I will happily look into it. Don't forget to find me on Instagram at Craft Christian Reviews. Let's say, you know, enjoy whatever you're drinking, and take care of your local craft breweries, and thank a veteran if you see one, and let's all be happy to be alive. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.